Welcome in, everyone, to this presentation of the National Football League on EA Sports. Just about set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go on EA Sports. This kick is fielded in the end zone, but no move to bring it out. It's touchback, and that ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. Herbert gonna throw on this first play. Open man, it's Jameson Williams. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8. We'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. They'll try to get the running game going. His first carry. And he'll be close to a first down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short. Yards, the gain there. First down, Washington.
Over the last couple years, Mike, we've seen the trend in the NFL is that 3rd down has really become a passing down, but not here. Not for this team. They keep the ball on the ground. They're able to pick up a big gain. Fresh set of downs.
On 1st and 10, here's Herbert. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
Good running there. He's got the first down inside the 30.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up the first down.
And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. A handoff here, up the middle. And he'll work this into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line, taken down after a gain of 5. Play 8 of the opening drive coming up, and now they face 3rd down. Now, Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
So Jake Moody now out for the field goal. Officially, it's a 36-yard attempt. Moody's kick is good. And the Commanders will take a 3-0 lead.
You know, they did a lot of good things on this opening drive, Mike. I know they stalled out once they got down there into the red zone. They're going to need to work on finishing some of these drives as this game moves along. But that's a good 3 points to start this game.
Look at him go! Sensational return. They drag him down inside the 15-yard line.
All right, so if you're going to be a kick returner in the National Football League, you need these two things: balance, vision, and yes, speed doesn't hurt too much either. And all three of those were evident there. I mean, what a return that was to set his guys up, starting this drive inside the red zone.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Back to the air once more on second down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Two incompletions to start the drive, and it leads to third down and 10. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack. It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get free.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will get back to only about his 20-yard line. That's where the drive will start. They'll come up here, first and 10. Motion man is Rice. Herbert now on first down. Now he'll run.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. A little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
Here's second and 2. From the gun, it's Herbert. He's got the connection there. It's Joshua Palmer. And he'll be tackled up around the 45-yard line.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice first down pickup.
And he will go all the way. Rashee Rice, touchdown Commanders. It's his second touchdown of the year. Extra point up and good from Moody. And the Commanders take a 10-3 lead. So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. This will be returned from the 6. Good job in coverage. They're going to get him down short of the 20-yard line. It's the first run of the game for Bijan Robinson. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
And he's taken down, but not until he gets to the 32-yard line.
every staff in the league that understands that we have to play a rookie quarterback, regardless of their talent, regardless of how high they were drafted. The ideal situation is to fill that huddle with as many veteran players as possible. The quarterback's going to be young. He's going to make some mistakes. The more veteran, talented guys around him, the easier it is to weather those mistakes. The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. But think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Now Robinson. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. He'll drop to throw. Hit as he throws and is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down. The Commanders will signal for the first of their timeouts. Backfield empties. 5 receivers in the formation for 3rd down and 5. Now they'll set up to throw. That's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Brown. And the Commanders have excellent field position as they take over right at midfield. Now after the interception, we have an injured player to look at. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. Now a play fake. Herbert. He'll get rid of it and complete it. A pickup of 21 on that connection. Good for a Commanders 1st down. Try the right side this time. Second down and 8. To throw is Herbert. Throwing left side, and it's taken in by Williams. He is in. Jameson Williams. Touchdown, Washington. On is Moody to add the extra point. The kick is good, but there are penalty flags down. They might have made contact with the kicker too late. So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. This one will be taken in the end zone. No run back forthcoming. And the ball coming out to the 30-yard line. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. On action. He'll set up to throw. He's got this to Bijan Robinson. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
They'll look to throw. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end. That's Laporta. They get 15 on that game. It's good for a Falcon 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important. Like everybody stresses, we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
And they'll take this down inside the 35.
It's so early in the game, you have to be careful now as coaches and players that you don't find yourself trailing early and get out of your game plan. There is so much time left. Stick to what you've worked on all week. There's plenty of time to chip away.
And he will score. Kyle Pitts. Touchdown, Atlanta. Now the try for an extra point. Oh, do you believe it? It's no good. That is his first extra point miss of the season. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. And he's going to bring it out from the middle of the end zone. And he can only get back to the 16-yard line. 1 quarter in the books. Herbert now on 1st down. That's over the middle, but it's incomplete.
There was no hesitation from the quarterback. From the jump, he knew where he wanted to go with that ball, but it still leads to an incompletion. They're just still not quite on the same page.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Tight end on the move left. Herbert to throw on 2nd down. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Herbert. He'll let this one go long for Williams. Still going. And he will take this one in. 84 yards. Touchdown, Washington. Moody's extra point is good. And the Commanders add on one more as they extend their 2nd quarter lead. So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. This one taken at the 7. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Terrific return. He's taken down just shy of midfield. First and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. He'll fire one deep for Harrison. And he will score. Marvin Harrison Jr. Touchdown, Falcons. The PAT, up and good. And the Falcons are back within one score. It is an 8-point game. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. Motion man is Rice. On first down, Herbert. He connects with Palmer on that one. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8. Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And he'll be close to a first down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short. They'll look to pick this up, 3rd and a yard. That one on target to Williams. He's got it. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play calling. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
The size, the speed, and the strength of this defensive tackle was on full display, Mike. He defeats the block, strikes the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. He's able to bring him down, keep it to no gain.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Herbert. He's going to run it.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold them to just a short gain.
They need to get this to the 23. Here's 3rd down. Here's Herbert. That is caught. He gets the hook up with Rice. They get 12 yards on that pass. First down, Washington.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the...
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to keep your feet, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like when it all comes together. He takes advantage of the scheme, and next thing you know, he hits his head on the goalpost.
Moody now for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Commanders are going to extend their lead. So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. From the 6, here comes a return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Short throw taken by Pitts. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. Hook him up on a 2nd down and 8. comes the blitz as he looks to throw. That'll be caught by the running back, Robinson. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback, understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver, who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short. That is intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Brown. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
For these young rookie quarterbacks, every snap in the NFL is an opportunity to have a lesson learned, and sometimes the lessons come a little bit harder than others. In this case, they kind of fool them with their blitz package. It's a little bit more complex at the NFL level than it is necessarily in college, and I think he just got a first-hand taste of just how fast this pressure can get on you, and sometimes when it speeds up that clock, you can make a bet.
That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Touchdown, Washington. He has done it again. That is 4 touchdown passes in this first half. Greg, he might skip halftime with the way he's performing right now.
Yeah, Mike, this passing attack is just really unstoppable. I mean, it is just remarkable the success he's been able to have. We're not even at halftime yet. He finds himself on record pace. I can't wait to see what he does the rest of this game.
So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. Now return coming from the 7. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. Now off the bootleg, he'll look to throw here. He's going to keep it himself.
He tried to buy all the time he could, but when he saw that space, he quickly turned from thrower to runner, and he's able to pick up a nice gain on first down.
Back to throw. That's caught downfield by Harrison. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. He fires downfield for Pitts. And this is too far over the end line. It's incomplete. Trying to get it to Kyle Pitts. And that will lead to a 2nd down. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they're going to mark him inside the 10-yard line. Now a chance to pay off that big play. They have it 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg. Could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead, and let's make it a one-score game at half. So they still got some work to do, but if they can go into halftime, regroup, catch their breath, just keep it close, give yourself a fighting chance here out of the break.
And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Play action now. It's Herbert. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
The whole idea of the play-action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that it allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion.
That's over the middle and intercepted. And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That is downfield to the tight end Pitts. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield. Throwing now on 1st and 10. And for the third time in this first half, he's been intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Brown. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position. Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and let's also give some credit to the back end doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away.
And he takes it down to the 15-yard line.
The offensive line doing a great job opening these run lanes. They have been there this entire first half, and I think if I'm this play caller, until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away, I think I'm just going to keep turning around and handing it to that guy.
And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. Good running. Gets them down to about the 4-yard line. Here's a run. And he's going the wrong way. Dropped back at the 7.
A loss of 3 brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
From a little further back, here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Herbert. This one caught at the 4. To the goal line and in. Touchdown, Commanders. That's his 2nd touchdown of this one, and he's got a half dozen for the year. On is Moody to add the extra point. He's got it, and the Commanders tack on one more to their lead. 4 seconds still to be played in this half as that one's away. Here comes a return from the 5. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
Commanders 45, Falcons 23.
Coach, thank you. Not a rest at the break for the defensive coordinators, trying to figure out how to stop these offenses as we get ready for the second half. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. A good return as he takes it across the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
On 1st and 10, they'll set up to throw. That is incomplete. Marvin Harrison Jr., the intended target. And it'll lead to a second down. Pitts is the man in motion. Back to the air once more on second down. And that one just kept getting worse and worse until finally they bring him down.
You can hear some boo birds coming out with some angry fans here right behind us, Mike, and rightfully so. They went from second and long, which is obviously not ideal, to now third and nearly impossible. I mean, it's looked about as bad as you can imagine.
And this ball incomplete on third down.
He's trying to set the tone here for the rest of the game and let this defense know there is not a blade of grass on this field that you don't have to defend, because he reared back and he let that one eat. And he's got to work a little bit on his touch, a little bit on his accuracy, but I don't think he needs to work on his arm strength.
This will be returned from just beyond midfield. Oh, hello. He is stopped in his tracks on that one. They made sure that return was not going any farther. Now a give up the middle. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. To throw is Herbert. This one complete to Palmer. Oh. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
A run on 1st and goal to the 5-yard line. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They'll turn and hand this one off. He'll get a couple, mark him down at the 3. Now, following the run, one of the offensive linemen leading the way is a bit shaken up. Line of scrimmage, the 3. 3rd and goal. He pulls it in around the 5. No place to run there. Good job by the D to stop him at the 2.
We see teams more and more throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, really for 2 reasons. 1, they're confident that they can pick up the 1st down with yards after the catch. 2, teams' willingness to go for it on 4th down is at an all-time high.
They'll go for it. It's Herbert. And this is incomplete. They don't go for the field goal. Wind up trying to throw for the touchdown. They get nothing out of it on 4th and goal. From his own end zone, he'll set up to throw. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
It'll be a pickup of 10. 1st down, Atlanta.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it, because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of, They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another first down. Back to the air one more time. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw yet again. Right side, it's Laporta, the tight end. A very nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. Gains nothing.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
Bijan Robinson, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's going to be 4th down. Pitts is the man in motion. He's going to find his receiver. It's Robinson. And he will have the first down. Needing to make something happen, trailing here in the 3rd quarter. They convert on 4th down. They'll look to throw again. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Now they'll set up to throw.
The best quarterbacks don't see the rush, they feel the rush, and that's exactly what this guy was able to do here. He's able to escape the initial pressure and immediately realizes, I got some space out in front of me. Picks up a solid gain here on 1st down.
They'll look to throw. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
Outside of a turnover, this was probably the worst-case scenario. Immediate pressure in his face with nowhere to go with the ball downfield. Just get the ball out of your hand. Live to play another down. Instead, he retreats backwards and leads to a massive loss.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. That's deep for the back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up uncatchable out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
So, of course, you prefer to connect on that throw, but think about it like this, Mike. The more they continue to test this defense downfield, the more it's going to open up some of those shorter passes underneath.
It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on 4th down. He'll drop to throw. And for the 4th time today, he has been intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Brown. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead. Here's 1st and 10. They put the tight end Brown in motion. They'll go with a counter on 1st down. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Williams in motion. They'll stick with him again. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. I think he's going to lose a yard. Motion man set right. Throwing is Herbert on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
How often do we see teams kind of nurse these big leads, Mike, especially as the game unfolds? They turn to the ground game. They try to slow everything down. Well, not this offense. They refuse to take their foot off the gas. They're still mining for explosive plays, and frankly, with the way today's gone, I don't blame them.
Herbert to throw for it on fourth down. That is caught. He gets the hook up with Rice. And he's out of bounds all the way inside the 15-yard line. They can still get a first down at the 1. First and 10, they go from the 11. Out of the gun, here's a run up the gut. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Herbert gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he's got another one. Touchdown, Washington. 3 touchdowns in this one. He now has 7 for the year. Extra point up and good from Moody. And the Commanders will extend this third quarter lead. So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. A safe kick taken at the 5. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line.
And up until this point, we haven't seen a lot go their way, but here in the third quarter, they're starting to find some plays. They're starting to get some opportunities. Just got to ask yourself if it's too little, too late.
He'll fire one deep for Harrison. That is caught. And they bring him down there, but it is inside the 10. It is going to be first and goal. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. That one taken in. Marvin Harrison Jr. Touchdown Falcons. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon.
The Falcons will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Back to throw. And he'll get into the end zone and get this one a couple of points closer.
Everything's about matchups, especially down here this close to the goal line. I think my guy's better than your guy. I'm going to put him in a position to have success, throw it up to him, and let him do the rest.
And no chance to return this one. Through the end zone for a touchback. They'll come up here, first and 10. That's Palmer, the man in motion. On play action now, Herbert. His throw left side is complete. His 5th catch of the afternoon. Good for a first down. So, no shortage of offense in this one as we end the third. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. To the ground, a first down run. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards. Now a give On the ground. Open space to the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Commanders' 24-yard line. It's a gain there of 26 yards. They fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Firing right side. Brought in by Brown. And he's going to be taken down.
Big-time completion right there, and this isn't just a spot where they're trying to run the game out here in the fourth quarter. They were not only trying to pick up points, but they're trying to get in the end zone and extend this lead. So, really nice job here late. Let's see if they can put this one out of reach.
Ball is at the 8 for 2nd and goal. Williams in motion. On 2nd and goal, they'll give him another shot. And that one is closed down in the backfield. What a defensive play. Knifing in, dropping him for the loss.
The idea here on 2nd down is in the event you're unable to score, at least put yourself in a 3rd and manageable goal-to-go situation. But now after taking a loss, it really changes their approach here. And I think on 3rd and goal now, they got to put
that's in the end zone and intercepted. And the Falcons force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 10.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning. Being able to get himself to a spot to get his hands on the ball and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
Thrown left side, the catch is made. And he's going to have this one up near the 28.
This is a tale as old as time, Mike. It seems that any time a team forces a takeaway, fumble, or interception, the ensuing drive starts with a shot, a deep play in the air to try to seize on some of that momentum. You saw a great example of it here. For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. Going for it all. And that is incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. Sometimes he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. The question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
He's got his tight end. That's Pitts. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10. Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. And it's recovered by one of his teammates.
And I feel like we see this so often, Mike, especially with how good these receivers are after the catch. They're so eager to pick up that extra yardage. Sometimes they don't completely put the ball away, and with how good these defenders are at knocking it loose, pretty fortunate on that one. His teammate was there to prevent that from being a turnover.
A gain of 16 yards. It's good for a Falcon 1st down. Pitts is the man in motion. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. He slings it over the middle, and it is caught. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard, and sets up 3rd down.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is. It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on third down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on fourth down or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
He's got his man. It's Harrison. The rookie from Colorado on target with that throw. His guys have a first down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
And this throw out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
They went for it all on that one and just a little bit off. Ball winds up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
Back to the air one more time. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Well, Greg, the light's still on way down at the end of the tunnel here. They are climbing back into this one with that touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
And they have a tall task ahead of them, Mike, but they have a chance. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. They got a two-possession game here late. They're going to need a couple stops, and they're going to need a couple things to bounce their way.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he decides not to bring it out. So they'll take over at the 30-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. This drive will start on the ground.
Number 24 of the ball carrier. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Second down and 8. On play action. Now Herbert. Looking for his tight end on the corner route. He's got it. And he will score again. Touchdown, Commanders. Make it 4 touchdowns for him on the afternoon. Moody now for the extra point. The kick is good, but there are penalty flags down. They might have made contact with the kicker too late. So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. This one deep in the landing zone. He'll return it from the 2. And he'll get this up past the 20, and that's where they'll set up shop. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. Right away, they'll set up to throw. To the right, that's Pitts.
It's been tough sledding for this offense all day today, Mike, but especially here in the second half. So they are just in desperate need of a spark. Just something to get their offense into a little bit of a rhythm if they want to have any chance to find themselves back into this game here late.
He'll fire one deep for Harrison. And he's into the end zone yet again. Marvin Harrison Jr. Touchdown, Falcons. That is his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. The extra point, up and good. And the Falcons are able to cut into the deficit.
Falcons 45.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. And this one is fielded in the end zone, will not be returned. So it'll come out to the 30. On 1st and 10, here's Herbert. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up second down.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play a man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
Oh, that may be the break they needed. That one's intercepted. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see. Can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Great timing and anticipation. The second the tight end's head turned around, the quarterback put the ball on him, and now it's, hey, let's see who wants to tackle this big guy and bring him to the ground.
He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down. He'll look to throw. Oh, for the 5th time, he is intercepted. And the Commanders will take over here just shy of the 30.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. Here's Herbert. He'll air one out for Palmer. He's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds as the clock will stop. It would have stopped anyway as we've hit the 2-minute warning. Up the middle they go. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. A handoff as they try to run it here. And he'll get this ahead. Gain of about 4. And it leads to third down. Trying to pick this one up on the ground. That play may have taken a little bit too long to develop. It's no gain. He's back at the 4-yard line.
We've seen this back have his way with this defense all game long, Mike. He's up over 100 yards for the game, but this time the defense said, we've had enough. They sold out to stop him. They hold him to no gain.
They can still pick up a first down here, and they'll line up to go for it on fourth down. They'll try to run. What a move! He's in! Touchdown, Washington. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. On is Moody to add the extra point. The kick is good, but there are penalty flags down. They might have made contact with the kicker too late. So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. Here comes a return from the end zone. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
the gun. He'll throw. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up second down. They'll look to throw. Here's a ball thrown deep, right sideline.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
And he's just throwing ducks up there. Another ball intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Well, Mike, this is entering the wrong kind of rarefied air. I mean, as in, it's only happened a handful of times since the turn of the millennium rare. It's an entire season's worth of picks thrown in just one game. I think at this point, you junk the playbook, you light it on fire, and we're just going to start from scratch next week.
Nothing doing on that one. He'll go down behind the line.
This is what every defense in the league is shooting for, Mike. Negative plays. That's how you kill drives. Force teams to play from behind the sticks. Great job here, taking them down for a loss.
3rd and long. He'll try to get this one on the ground. So it's a win here for the Commanders. This was a game where both offense...
I wanna try to beat the force. I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more? 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 Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more?
Don't be afraid of the bounce. See when your things levels got changed, you get round. How can I walk in doubt? Never been a beg, never been a loud mouth. Pen can go for days. I'm obsessed with it, can't change my ways. So blessed with it, what can I say? Top form staying in shape.
I wanna try to beat the force. I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more? 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 Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more?
Wake up, shot calling. Pay what I bought it. New crib psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Yeah, straight out the Lennox. That on for hours. I'm straight out the minutes. They calling up Dion. Straight out the business. We take out the Sims and then take out percentage. Period. Break out the minutes.